Let me get back over here, yes.
Mr. President, your previous answer on the Philippines election left the impression that no matter what goes on in the election, the United States will accept the outcome. You didn't mean to say that an unprecedented fraud is going to be accepted by the United States, did you, sir? Is there some limit to where we stop?
No, I said that we're depending on the Filipino people to make this decision. This is their election, and we'll wait and see what the final count determines.
But once they do make the decision, if it's quite obvious, and even some of the observers from your own commission are indicating that, if it's quite obvious that it's been a total steal, the United States isn't going to accept the outcome just as it is, are they?
You're asking me one of those if questions, and I'm not going to answer if questions. I took my pattern from Franklin Delano Roosevelt when he was president, and he held his first press conference, and he said, I will set down one ground rule, which he never violated. He says, I will not answer any if questions.
Mr. President, some within your administration are reported to be growing impatient with what they see as Soviet foot-dragging over setting a date for this year's summit. Do you share in that impatience?
Well, I'd like to have it pinned down. They haven't come up with any other date. They mentioned another period, and we informed them that that was going to be running into our coming election, and we would prefer the earlier date. But no, we haven't seen any evidence that they're trying to get out of this or anything of the kind, because they've already invited me there for one in 1987.
So in your view, there's no thought that possibly Mr. Gorbachev may be trying to win some concessions on arms control in exchange for an agreement on a date?
I don't think so. That kind of linkage wouldn't work. Yes, you.
Mr. President.
No, this lady, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, various Republicans who would like to succeed you, including the Vice President, have been spending a lot of time lately going to various conservative groups trying to get their seal of approval. In your view, has George Bush been politically and philosophically consistent over the years?
Well, you're asking a fellow who was once a liberal New Deal Democrat before he became a Republican. So sometimes we do change our minds with things that have gone on, but I just have to tell you that he has been heart and soul in support of everything that we're trying to do, and I am convinced of his sincerity in supporting all of those measures.
Mr. Bush is reluctant to discuss any issues on which the two of you may have differed privately since you've been president. Could you tell us an issue or two in which he's had a significant impact on your thinking or your decisions?
Oh, he is, one of the reasons I couldn't answer specifically on that, I have to tell you that he is a part of every decision, part of the policy making here, just as are the other members of the cabinet. He and I both sit in with the cabinet, and he is part and parcel of all the policy here in the administration. Now you, but no, because I...
Thank you, Mr. President. You mentioned in your Saturday radio broadcast that we were going to reach the Graham-Rudman cuts by a few little garage sales. Is it your desire to see that 250,000 veterans who have certificates of eligibility to buy VA homes are going to be excluded from having this opportunity because the Veterans Administration says they're out of money and must meet the Graham-Rudman-Hollings quota?
I can't answer that question specifically either here as to what we're going to do. I know that we don't want to penalize our veterans, take away any of the benefits and so forth that they have. And I just have to tell you that with everything that's going on right now, I couldn't answer you about the situation of the housing loans for veterans.
Mr. President, back to affirmative action. Do you plan to change the executive order so that goals and timetables will no longer be required?
I am waiting to see what the recommendation is. This is still being studied, and they haven't presented an actual recommendation to me. All I know at the moment is that what they're studying is how can we eliminate this possibility of a quota system. So I I want to tell you that I don't want to do anything that is going to restore discrimination of any kind.